Rise. Judge Vunda B. Court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1030, Armstrong case.
You all may be seated. Okay, Mrs. Armstrong.
Yes, Ms. Judge.
Okay, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, Miss Tally over here, we decided to have a baby together about 3 years ago. And we got a divorce. And now I just need her to pay some child support.
Okay. Well, you guys are going through a divorce, right?
Well, yeah, sorry, we're going through a divorce. I wish it was over already. But I have been paying health care for a long time, ever since the baby was born.
How much is the health care?
It's $111 a month.
Okay.
This baby is 2 years old. We've been together for about 3 years, and I just, that's a lot of money.
Okay, and you want her to pay child support?
And I need that money.
Okay, she needs that money. You don't want to pay that money?
No, ma'am. Instead, I want to spend time with this child. She's not allowing me to see my son, Alex.
All right, buckle up. This case is about to get messy. We're diving into a heated courtroom showdown involving child support, custody battles, and wait for it, denied parental access. Mrs. Armstrong is demanding financial support, but Miss Tally drops a bombshell. She hasn't even been allowed to see her child in over a year. And just when you think it couldn't get any crazier, the judge steps in and things take a turn you won't see coming. Stick around, because this case, it goes off the rails.
Last year and a half.
Okay.
I mean, I have an amazing 2-year-old son that I'm being denied access to see. And I do not believe that I should be paying child support. Rather than I should be able to spend time with my son and actively be in his life.
Okay. Is there a reason you have not been allowing her to see Alex?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a reason for that?
Well, Judge, I feel like time is not money. And,
Well, stop. Hold on. It's not money. But you would agree with me that she is the mother, right?
Yes.
Okay. And would you want for her to deny you access to Alex?
Well, it would be
It's
different.
a yes or no?
No.
Okay, then. So, you do not have a reason to not allow her to see her son.
But she doesn't help me take care of my son.
Now, financially, we'll get to that in a moment. She's not going to have a choice if the child is living with you primarily. Is that what's
Correct.
going on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and how often do you allow her to see him at all?
No.
Okay, now that's going to change today. You do not have any authority to do that. You do not have it both ways. You can't say, I want her to pay this money, but at the same time, I don't want her to see.
Hold on. Wait a second, did you catch that? Miss Tally says it's been over a year and a half since she saw her son. That's a huge red flag in family court. Legally, child support and custody are two separate issues. You can't deny a parent access to their child just because they haven't been paying support. And trust me, the judge picked up on that real quick. This case is headed for a shakeup, and it's not looking good for Mrs. Armstrong.
It doesn't work like that.
Well, once she starts paying me some money, then she can also start seeing the son.
Well, they don't go together.
Okay.
But the possession to a child has nothing to do with paying child support. You do not decide that. You understand? Okay, because in a different court, you could actually be held in contempt for that if you all had a court order and you were denying her access to your son. You understand that, right?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Now, as for you, you'll be able to see your son, but you do understand that you have to pay child support as well.
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you do not have any objection to paying
No,
child
ma'am.
support. Okay, so you heard that, right? Okay, all right. So it seems like money is what's important to you, not necessarily her having a relationship with the child. That's right?
Yes.
And that's sad. And it's very sad that you admitted it. Okay, so you turned in some tax returns up here. I have your gross at $6,000 a year. And how many children? It's just Alex, right?
It's just one, yes, ma'am.
Do you have any other children outside of Alex?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So that brings your net down to $4,789.79 for one child.
Now let's talk numbers. Miss Tally's child support has been calculated based on her income, landing at $1,069 per month, including healthcare reimbursement. Is she thrilled about it? Nope. Does she have a choice? Also nope. Family court isn't about who feels what, it's about what's fair. And considering she's been completely cut off from her own child, this ruling? It's just the beginning of a long overdue reality check.
And then you do have to reimburse her health insurance because
Absolutely.
she's been paying it. You're okay with that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you don't really have a choice, so, okay. Plus the 111 comes out to $1,069 a month.
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right, do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any questions about that?
No, ma'am, it's Judge.
Okay, why do you have this smirk on your face?
Oh, I like those numbers. Judge Rhonda. Judge Rhonda.
Sad. She's not going to have to come back in here and say, you know, she's not letting me see my child or anything like that, is she?
So when she sees the child,
That
do I
mean-
have
that's
to
a
be
no.
around?
That's a no, because you're not going to do that, right? You're going to let her see the child.
Do I
Yes.
have to be around her when she comes? She has to come pick the child up, like for a weekend?
Yeah, however she picks him up. I mean, you guys have a child, so you should be able to be cordial with each other to some extent. You don't have to necessarily like each other, but
It has
you
to
do
be
need
able
to
to
let her
benefit the
see.
child.
Huh?
It has to be able to benefit the child. I mean, you have to look at Alex's best interest in his life. He needs both of his moms. It's like you can't just deny one.
Oh, now this is rich. Mrs. Armstrong really asked the judge, what's the minimum amount of time I have to let her see our son? As if co-parenting is some kind of negotiation. But the judge? She wasn't having it. She laid it out plain and simple. You don't get to hold your child hostage over money. That smirk Mrs. Armstrong gave? Yeah, that might have just cost her big time.
What's the
I agree with
least
that.
of amount of time that I can let her spend with my child?
You know what? We're not going to go there. You're going to let her see him. And that's the end of it. You have your money, right?
Yes.
Okay, then. So do you have any other questions? All right. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Case dismissed. Just like that, justice is served. The judge shut down every excuse, ruled on child support, and most importantly, restored Miss Tally's right to see her son. This case is the perfect reminder of why courts treat child support and parental access as separate issues. Because at the end of the day, it's not about revenge or resentment, it's about what's best for the child. What do you think? Was the ruling fair? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you love courtroom drama and legal breakdowns, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. There's plenty more coming your way.